Hello again, football fans. Welcome back to the Week 12 edition of the WGFP Update. We're coming to you live this week from the Tiger Den in Greenville, South Carolina, also known as the Rabhan Ancestral Manse. Hope you enjoy our remote delivery this week. Let's get straight into the action. So last week, man, there was some good ones, wasn't there? With speaking of last-second saves, TCU, no time on the clock, kick a field goal. Michigan, no time on the clock, kick a field goal. Tennessee. Oh, no, wait a minute. That one was completely different. That one wasn't even close. South Carolina just demolished them. The incredible offensive machine that is Tennessee was left behind when their score was literally doubled by the Gamecocks. So that could be exciting coming up. Virginia Tech did a number on Liberty after the much vaunted Liberty football team had suffered one loss. Virginia Tech gave them another one. Uh, Meanwhile, Ole Miss couldn't quite figure out what their mascot is. Well, they needed at least one more against Arkansas because they definitely fed the hogs. So how did that end up delivering on the scores? Well, just ask your Week 12 winner, Beth Ann. She picked the right games at the right confidence level, followed by Shayna, Andy, and a name you almost never see on the winners update, certainly not at the top, but even on the whole list, is Daniel. So let's relish that moment while we can. Looking at what that does for the season, your top five, you're looking at from number five going up, Shayna, Nancy, Matt, Andy, and still at number one, Lowell. With only a couple of weeks left in the season, we really ought to consider what that's going to do when you start looking at that gap between the top five, with Shayna at 17 points back in the number five spot, and then it gets a whole lot closer, all the way down to Andy, who's only 3 points back. Literally, this is one or two games being able to make the difference between the winner and the first first place losers going into the finals of the season. So really exciting. Meanwhile, down at the bottom, well, it's not quite as close because there, while in the bottom, Alex, Lewis, Abby, Rick, yeah, they'd have to really, really screw up to catch me on this one. So I don't think we're going to be making any changes there anytime soon. The good news is it's rivalry week. So with state titles across the South up for grabs in Florida, North Carolina, South Carolina, Alabama, Mississippi, and even out in Texas, it's going to be really exciting. Don't forget, this week we've got the first game starting on Thursday, which will be the Egg Bowl between Ole Miss and Mississippi State, which could be a lot of fun. We'll see if Lane Kiffin can bounce back, or if Mississippi State's going to be able to really make a strong statement at the end of the season on the growth of their program. We've got an elimination game in the Big Ten where you've got Michigan and Ohio State, two teams that have struggled at times against lesser opponents. We'll see what they can do when they really have to stand up for each other. As far as surprises, yeah, I think we're going to have a couple of those, just like Shane Beamer and the Gamecocks were ready for Tennessee. I think they're going to be ready for Clemson this week on a game that has really not been competitive for years. I think that could really be competitive. A game that started out as not even going to be close, being held in Tuscaloosa this year. I think the Iron Bowl is going to be a lot closer. Cadillac's got the boys who now are believing. You've got an Alabama squad that's a little lackluster so far this season. So if Alabama doesn't show up ready to play, unfortunately, this could again be Auburn's year. We'll see. Just remember, get your picks in on Thursday. Everybody have a great Thanksgiving. We'll see you all next week. Take care. Bye bye.